The Orange Tootsie Pop, living with the love and loss of a pet. Sitting at the table laughing and bantering while playing a game of cranium, my family and I abruptly stop when we hear the noises of a very sick dog. She showed no signs of illness during the day, but I realize the cancer may have returned. It's a week and a half before Thanksgiving, and we've had almost a year since her surgery. I feel my feet go out from under me, a sensation that would remain the next several days. After all the presents had been opened on Christmas morning 6 years earlier, my husband had surprised our children with a treasure hunt, complete with interesting clues. They had squealed, brainstormed, shouted out possible locations, and rushed to the next area of our home looking for these messages. They still tease my husband for hiding the gift-wrapped dog gear in the dryer, of all places. We had captured on video the shrieks of joy when they saw the dog gear and reacted as though an actual dog had jumped out of the dryer. It had not. The room had exploded with their enthusiasm and joy. All four of us met at a farm 3 days later. From the moment she and I saw one another, we connected, and I felt an intense rush of love. It was as though she had been waiting for me her whole life, like she knew me, everything about me, and still loved me. As a child, I wished fervently for a dog, knowing full well that it could never be, not in that home. A dog could never have survived there. I barely did. In the moment when I met her, a childhood dream came true for me as an adult. She was an older dog of 7 years with the given name Weasel. Oh boy, this reminded me of smarmy guys from high school, so I said I couldn't have a dog with this name. My husband mentioned that we could give her a new name, but for it to stick, it would have to sound a lot like her given name. I love the sound of music, so in an inspired moment, I realized we could call her Liesel, after the oldest daughter of the Von Trapp family. Liesel's personality wasn't even remotely like this coming-of-age character. The connection begins and ends with the name. Being a standard wire-haired dachshund, Liesel stubbornly barks and wags her tail simultaneously at everyone who comes to our door. She loves walking and sniffing the perimeter of our backyard when she's outside. I never figured out why she obsessively licks her paws like some people chain smoke. We have found partially chewed up paperback books and even hardcover books on the floor, and we've slowly learned to keep things up and out of her sight. Our family vigilance finally aligned when a school project of our son's got eaten except for a tiny corner piece. A year before my joyous meeting of Liesel, I had firmly and with clarity ceased all contact with my family of origin, all of whom blindly slogged around inside various destructive patterns. Since joining our family, Liesel has seen me through the most intense chapters of my ongoing recovery and healing from an abusive past that had extended into adulthood. I felt vividly the spiritual message she brought me. You're deeply loved, Laura. As I engaged some of the hardest work of my life, with everything she was and everything she did, she was this message. Even my husband can turn on me and I can turn on him. We clean it up and restore our kinder ways with each other, but then the cycle repeats. But Liesel never ever turns on me, and I never ever turn on her. Oh. That dog. She brings her lovable self to me, and I notice I bring my best self to her. No matter what, she's happy to see me, tracking me everywhere I go in our home. As soon as I sit down in any room, she jumps up to sit with me. In the past year, when she couldn't jump anymore, she has put her front paws up on the chair, tongue lolling, and looked at me with her brown eyes hopeful for a lift up onto the seat with me, which I've always obliged. For more than a year, I have medicated her eyes 10 times a day. With each dose, I have let her know I care. Always compliant with this ritual, she has allowed me to love her in this unique way. I recognize I'm capable of this depth, quality, and uncomplaining, consistent care of a beloved other. It feels seamless and easy with my Liesel girl. The vet tells me all she can probably see is shadows, shapes, and movement. She always knows who I am, even when she loses this ability with my daughter, husband, and son. She barks at them and stops only when she recognizes their smells. She never barks at me. She knows me with every sense and hair on her cute lowrider body. A few months after those visits to the veterinary eye doctors, Liesel had 2 different tumors removed, and she and I teamed up in a post-surgical healing dance. It involved me carrying her 29-pound body around carefully and constantly for about 2 weeks. After her sutures were removed, we chose to take no further action and place our intentions on creating the best quality of life we could for her. Autumn arrived. I celebrated a birthday, and my friends commented on how quiet and well-behaved my Liesel girl was on this special day. Knowing food could fall at any moment, she watched and waited. Like so many dogs, she loves food. She licked the cake topper that accidentally fell on the floor. It was rescued in time for people to sing happy birthday as they held the Liesel kiss topper above my vanilla cupcake. Her message of unconditional love washes over me as we put away the board game and I clean up the mess she has made on the carpet. Starting on this night, we realize how ill she is. She starts declining rapidly, and yet her love for me grows and breathes inside all of me. Oh, dogs, right? Pets. Her love is impossible for me to ever forget, even in moments when I'm all alone, as it seems that I am when I walk inside the vet's office a week later for a procedure that will end Liesel's painful suffering and her amazing life. When I return home, our house seems too quiet, too lonely, even with our other dog, Lindsay, still very much alive. The rest of the day, I find all kinds of reasons to be out of the house, usually taking Lindsay with me. I find myself craving an Orange Tootsie Pop, the childhood candy I loved. I have no idea why this distracts me. I rarely eat candy, let alone crave it. It's the second full day of grieving, and I'm on a mission. On this unusually warm day in November, I bike to a BP station in search of a Tootsie Pop. They have every other candy there, Payday, Kit Kat, Skittles, and so many other colorful packages giggling back at me. I keep scanning each row for the Tootsie Pop. None. I buy 2 peppermint patties and eat both of them. No satisfaction. After dinner that night, the kids are hungry for Oreos, an excuse to be out of the house. In my grief-driven state, I drive first to the natural foods grocery store to pick up some items for our Thanksgiving dinner. I then drive all the way to a mainstream grocery store in an entirely different section of town. I'm in my body but not in my body as I walk into that brightly lit store knowing there must be Tootsie Pops in this store. I don't want a whole bag though, just one orange Tootsie Pop. I find the candy aisle and keep pacing up and down in search of a reasonably sized bag of Tootsie Pops. I feel kind of crazy because it is kind of crazy. They have big bags of Tootsie Pops filled with lots of brown and purple ones. Gross. I walk down another aisle and return several times to the candy aisle in vain. Finally, I purchase the Oreos and make my way home. I have no idea how long I've been gone, but on my way, my husband calls. "Where are you?" he asks. "On my way." I can tell I'm resisting going home even though people and another dog are there. I tell my husband he could make my Thanksgiving by finding me an orange Tootsie Pop. I encourage him emphatically not to buy the whole bag. On Thanksgiving morning, I walk downstairs to feed Lindsay. In her food bowl is one glorious orange-wrapped confection with a white stick. I cry, feeling happy, sad, grateful, and moved. Later, I ask him about the whole bag thing, and he pleads the fifth. Then our son blurts out, "Hey, Dad, where's the stash of Tootsie Pops? Because I'll love one." At this point, I'm laughing. Christmas morning arrives. My children and husband put gifts around me, and one in particular is tagged from my husband. I open it to find a beautiful container, the perfect size for Liesel's cremains. I lift the lid, and it is filled with orange Tootsie Pops. I cry. He doesn't even realize he purchased a dual-purpose container. He shares his story of the search and all the different gas stations he visited. I feel completely touched by this simple, meaningful, and heartfelt gift. I know this candy will never even remotely bring back Liesel or the feeling of her near me. I can only go to my imagination, my memories. Deep love and gratitude hold my sadness. I share the remaining treats with my kids and those who come to visit. When the container eventually stands empty, it will await the arrival of the ashes of this precious being. She will live on as my forever Liesel girl. Sorry, it's a dog. It's a pet. My friend, my dog, the being who taught me unconditional love. Pets enhance the experience of love and deep connection in our lives. If you enjoy pets, I hope you will embrace them in your life in ways that are meaningful to you. Perhaps it would work better for you to volunteer working with pets rather than to have one. As I learned, the flip side of bringing a pet into your life is that you may need to say goodbye to that pet because of the unfortunate differences in our lifespans. When you're grieving the loss of a pet, trust yourself and tune into your needs. Some people have to put away photos and then in time get them out again. Some must keep many photos of their beloved pet visible, either indefinitely or during the time of intense grieving. Some people create pet memorials on a table or in a corner of a room. Some people release every item associated with a pet. Sharing with compassionate friends and family helps too. For some grieving pet owners, adopting another pet becomes a focus and a joy. Other people are not ready for that step. Gratitude and love are powerful balms in times of loss. Focusing on all the things we love about our cherished pet can help the process. I encourage you to be gentle with yourself as you grieve and know that whatever you choose is working if you can keep staying connected to here and now. If you are neglecting yourself, others, work, hobbies, or other important aspects of your life, please seek out the help of a professional or support group. Whether or not we have pets, we can learn many lessons from their approach to life. For example, dogs teach us to be here now. Be friendly with most everyone you meet unless it's not an option. Walk, run, swim, jump, chase, and catch your dreams. Bring them back for loved ones to enjoy. Eat with gusto. Be loyal to those who care. Sleep soundly. Love. Cats teach us, for example, to be real at any moment. Shift who you are as necessary. Playful, resourceful, cuddly, persistent, lovable, hissy, aloof, independent, reliable, sweet, smart, silly, and laser-like focused. Pounce on things that interest you and find a sunbeam to nap in. You will still be loved and accepted and fed. I have since lost Lindsay and still have her daughter, Layla, and I'm grateful to have a dog and now a cat in my life today. For those of you who enjoy pets, enjoy your pets and savor their love for you.